G'day team and welcome back to the channel. My name's Tony and as always this is the Mighty Overlander, and first and foremost, Happy New Year to everybody. It is now 2023, it's actually New Year's Day, and I thought what better way to ring in the new year than a quick solo overnight camp by myself down to one of my favourite spots. Now, I know that I've been a little bit quiet on the channel for the last month or a month and a half or so since the end of the Gun Barrel Highway series came out. That's kind of been on purpose. So I needed a little bit of a break after such a huge year in 2022, but I didn't really get that much of a break. I've ended up actually doing a heap of filming with the main channel sponsor, Wild Track Leisure Australia, and also the 4Drive Adventure Show on Channel 7. So I guess I'll make that announcement now. Yep, I'll be doing a few more episodes on the 4Drive Show as a guest appearance there, here and there, doing some segments, doing some stuff on micro overlanding and doing some camping trips, trying to convince them to do a kayak camping trip and stuff like that. So yeah, we'll see how we go. Hopefully that one should be really good. But it's an absolutely glorious day here in the Dwelling State Forest. It's beautiful. I love coming down here. I come down here several times a year. Sometimes I film, sometimes I don't. I'm going to get the drone up. I haven't had the drone up in ages. I haven't had the drone up since the Gun Barrel. It's been crazy. Like, one thing I'll add before I go is the amount of stuff that I've been doing kind of on the side with Wild Track, with the 4Drive Show, going on quiet camps and stuff like that has been phenomenal. And it's really, with the way that the channel's growing, it's been bloody crazy. So look, I'm gonna jump in the car, we're gonna get down there, we're gonna have a good day. We're gonna have a bloody good day. New Year's, 2023 people, Happy New Year, let's get into it. All right, enjoy.
Close your eyes, get some rest. I'm by your side, lay your head on my chest. I know you've had a really bad day, but I'm right here, it's gonna be okay.
Alright, so it looks like I found a campsite, and if it wasn't meant to be, fate, I don't know, it's actually where it all began. This is the first campsite that I ever filmed at. And it's one of my go-tos because it's right on the water. You've got tracks that lead either way. It is absolutely brilliant. Oh. And it's not all that hard to get in and out of either. I'm actually very surprised. I thought that this one would be taken because they've got a massive open area here. You can fit a couple of cars, so yeah, good. Awesome, all right. Well, he's home for the night. Oh, all right team, so let's have a bit of a look at what we're working with here today. Wowee, that river level has dropped dramatically. All right, so this is the spot, guys. Now, if you are a long-term watcher of the channel, that there is where I filmed the very first episode of back then called the Mighty Jimny, almost 2 years ago now. And this is also where I filmed another one over here. So yeah, this is one of my favorite spots. But one of the funny things about this particular place is how much it changes depending on the time of year that you come down here. So this here is where young Sam and I camped out and did the fireside chat, and we subsequently both destroyed our alternators from going through all the puddles, and that was a wintertime camp. The first time I camped down here was about this time of year, and it was once again kind of more similar to this, but the way that this place changes over you know, over the time, over the season, sorry, is just phenomenal. And the main thing is how much the river changes. So you can see here, the river level itself, so that tree just there is usually mostly underwater during the winter. And you can see here where the bank fully comes up here. We've got a new tree here. This wasn't fallen down here last time. It looks like it's part of maybe something over here, or something's fallen down here, maybe something over here. Part of that one maybe, who knows. But yeah, so it's pretty full on, but I'm just looking at the water and how much it's actually gone down, and it's gone down heaps. I'm really surprised actually. I thought it was going to be, because we had so much water over. You can still feel the ground's really soft here though, but how much it went down. Question is, are there any redfin in there? Hey, that's the big question, isn't it? I've got, so for dinner tonight I'm going to be cooking, so this is where I might try and cast out. Gets a touch deeper just over here, and some of the redfin like to come just into this little shallow areas around the structure, so I might give that a crack. Yeah, so for dinner tonight, I'm not planning on eating redfin. You know, whenever I say I'm going to do a catch and cook, it never bloody happens. So instead, what I've got is smash burgers. So I haven't done smash burgers on the channel yet, I don't think. Maybe I've done them once, I can't remember. But I'm going to be doing that, and because obviously everything's gas cooked, then yeah, it's going to be an interesting thing. I wonder if there's any redfin. Look how clear the water is at the moment, because everything's been flushed through with all those rains and stuff like that. Even the tannin level in the water just seems to not be quite as murky. The water looks quite good. I might even go for a bit of a dip later on. But there's a spot, the spot's just around here where, you know, around the structure and stuff like that. Sometimes you can even see them kind of cruising around. This time of day, probably not that much. I'm not going to go for a fish for a couple of hours yet. I've got some other filming that I'm going to do before I do that. Let's have a quick look over here. So if you pick your way through here, don't have much battery left, so I'm going to have to keep this one short and sweet. But if you pick your way through, apart from there being a million buggerinos around here, there's this little path that we've been walking down for years, and oh, what's that? Yeah, see if there's any reddies in there. I reckon there will be. There's some movement under the water. Oh, I think there is, because I swear I'd heard something splashing around us then. What was that? But you come out into this spot here, and this is where it's at. Look at this. Hey, that's wonderful. What a great spot this is. So this is where I'll probably go for a flick. There's a lot of structure just around here. I brought my water shoes and my swimming shelts just in case I need to, but over there, that's where I've caught them before, just in the shadows over this side and stuff like that. So yeah, we'll see how we go. And there's going to be marron everywhere. So marron season's coming up soon. So you're going to see this place get flooded with people chasing the horses. Cool. All right, so for the next little while, I'm going to quickly get the drone up and take some nice shots of the river. But I'm going to film a full walk around of the Jimny, and that's going to be a separate episode. So make sure you, if you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel, because that one's going to be really interesting. That one's going to be a full update and everything that I've had done to the car since the last time I did a walk around, which was with Ronnie Dale. So, and that's going to be, yeah, almost a year. So the car has changed considerably since then. I've got some old footage that I'll probably overlay from that and everything. Tell you what though, I'm pretty sure I've forgotten my bug spray, and it is bug central down here. So pretty sure I grabbed it before and I was like, oh, I need that, and then I didn't take it with me. But I'll have to have a look in the back. I hope so, because I'll definitely have to spray up, get them to leave me alone. I'll be doing the Aussie wave for forever and a day. Beautiful spot. God, it's lovely. Wonder what the temperature of the water is. Let's have a little dip. A little dipperoo. Hopefully I don't fall in it. Oh God, that's beautiful. Oh, that's perfect, isn't it? That's going to be great. I am definitely going for a little mud swim later on. That's perfect. All right, so I'm going to go film that, and then I'll see you in a couple of hours after I do that, because by that stage it will be kind of mid-afternoon and it'll be time for a bite to eat, and then time to get those lines in, especially the Savi. Cool. All right, now I'm stoked. I'm glad I got this spot. This is one of my favourites. Yeah, it's good. All right, enjoy. So we are all set up. Now I want to show you a couple of things this time. I've normal kind of setup here, but I've got a new sleeping system. I know, another one. But this one I won't be getting rid of the old swag. I've just thought, you know what, I'll give one of these a crack, because this is what the guys were using during the Gun Barrel Highway. It's the Wild Track Leisure Australia Easy Up Jumbo Stretcher Tent. And basically it's not exactly, but it's pretty much the same as the stretcher that I already use for the canvas swag, which I've still got and I'll be using mainly throughout the winter period. But for the summer period, this thing. So it's one of those kind of bunker style tent systems where you've got some of these supports either end, and that's basically the bug mesh on the inside. And it's, yeah, fantastic. I used it the other day when I went down to Warren. I was actually really surprised at how comfortable it was. So I thought, you know what, I'll get one. So the guys over at Wild Track have given me that one, and I'll see how it pans out as a summer option, mainly because it's so small. It's only, I think, 10 kilos or something like that. And that's it. I put a little self-inflatable mattress in it, which can actually sit in the car if I really need it to. That's the only thing on the roof. It's like one thing. It's like just having the stretcher on the roof, and that's it. So yeah, I'm just going down that line of limiting the amount of stuff that I put on the roof, mainly because, like if you follow my Instagram, you'll know that I got this fishing kayak. I want to be able to put the kayak on the roof and bring it down here, kind of thing. I mean, I don't think I'd get very far in this shallow water at the moment, but you know what I mean, as in, like, you know, kind of do that kind of stuff. So yeah, but yeah, that's the campsite setup, eh? It's pretty quick. It's not bad at all. So that there, I was going to put the side awning on, like down here, but you know what, I don't know if I'm going to be bothered today. I think it's fine. I think it's perfectly fine the way it is. I've got these lights now under the awning. I've got a little video that I'll edit up for those, how to put those in there from Wild Track as well. Wonder what that is. I don't know. And then, yeah, You know, the back of the car set up just like I did for the gun barrel. Yeah, pretty cool. All right, what do you reckon? I reckon I go for a little flick, eh? I reckon it's time for a flick. Yeah, I'm just gonna have a quick drink, maybe a 5-minute sit down. I've already been doing some filming today, and I'll go for a quick flip, but then I want to get the drone up and show off the river and show you what it's looking like at the moment, because it's quite pretty. Yeah, all right, cool. Well, mostly set up, so I'm going to be cooking those smash burgers. What is the time now? I've got my phone out for you. What time is it? Just on 4 o'clock. Okay, so I got here, so it was 12:30-ish when I got down here. Probably closer to 1 o'clock by the time I actually got down here. So what's that? 2 hours, 3 hours, 3 hours of filming. Yeah, okay, that's not too bad. So that's that full episode done. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Yeah, cool. All right, let's get these rods rigged up. Time for a flickaroo. I forgot my reels. I knew I forgot something. So I've got the rods, but I took the reels off to put them in their bloody case. Oh, that's heartbreaking. That is bloody heartbreaking. All right, so it looks like the fishing's out of the question. Silly me, I unfortunately left my fishing rod reels at home. So the rods are here, but the reels I left on the kayak. Silly me. All right, oh well, you know, I'm not going to dwell on it, so it is what it is. Look, I thought I'd take this opportunity then to have a bit of a chat about last year, and kind of just go over, you know, the events of last year and what kind of, you know, what I got up to and how it all kind of came together for the end with the Gun Barrel Highway there, and what's planned for this year, but also some lessons learned from last year that I kind of want to implement into this year, and not just on the full driving side of things, but also on the content creation side of things, fishing, the whole shebang, like the whole experience. So last year, huge year, 2022, it felt like it went like that, and I honestly, I kind of don't know where it went. You know, I'm another year older all of a sudden, and a hell of a lot grayer. And it was just a really strange year. So busy, and yet it kind of just felt like, yeah, like I was kind of felt a bit frantic at times and stuff. But I also felt like time just slipped away. It was quite a strange year. Anyway, so what did I get up to last year? Well, it started the year with a cleanup with a lot of the West Australian content creators, the Full Drive West Australian content creators down at Belvedere Beach, down Buffalo there. And that was awesome. That was with Outback Cleanups, Door 4x4, Maddie from West Australian Off-Road, Braden from 4x4 Camping Adventures Australia, and a whole heap others. And Mike from Jetfish came down as well. You know, the guys from Adventure Unlimited. And it was just a really good opportunity for the guys to come together and do a little bit of good. You know, I think quite often the guys in the full drive community, especially the content creator community, we do take for granted what we've got at our fingertips here, and it's good to give something back for that. The cleanup itself was quite handy in respect of we cleared like half a ton of rubbish. It gave us an opportunity to meet and greet quite a few of the guys that we hadn't actually met at that point. You know, formed quite a few friendships. I ended up, you know, forming quite a good friendship with from Maddie from West Australian Off-Road, and Braden from 4x4 Camping Adventures Australia, and Kip Thompson, who's most often seen with Pete in the Wacker videos. So, you know, that was a great opportunity there. We got so much done for the cleanup side of things, and it really gave a really good networking opportunity as well. So that was really good. From there, I did a couple of trips down here to Dwellingup, down to Warren River with Kip and Dusty, We did a couple of fishing trips down here at Dwelling Up to the secret spot, which is probably one of the most well-known spots down here. We also did I did the video with Ronnie Dahl for Modified 99, and it was at about that point that things went, you know, straight up. A lot more exposure, not just for people having a look at the channel, but also putting my presentation skills on, you know, on the wider audience, and also an opportunity for some of the companies that watch Ronnie and have a look at you know, the Jimny kind of content and looking for people to work with. I got a hell of a lot of exposure there, so that was really quite good. So, you know, thanks for Ronnie for inviting me on the show, and it was actually a really big leg up. And as a result from that, you know, the guys from Dave Howie, the owner and managing director of Wild Track Leisure Australia, contacted me, and as a result of that, we ended up on the Gun Barrel Highway series, which was phenomenal, huge trip, but more about that one in a second. Also did quite a few installs, so the K-On gear, the roof shelf, the molly panels, and the gas bottle holder all went on. The recovery points from Bay House, the winch from Warn, that also went on. The long range fuel tank and the snorkel from TJM went on. I didn't shoot videos for those ones, but they were certainly on display during the Gun Barrel Highway. And then we got into the Gun Barrel Highway, and that was just epic. You know, a huge opportunity to work with the guys from the Forward Drive and Adventure Show here in Western Australia on Channel 7. And as a result of that, I'm guesting on the show quite a bit at the moment. So I've got 2 segments shot that will be coming up in the new year, which is I'm very excited about. And then hopefully there's going to be more opportunities in the future for that one as well. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to that, and also looking forward to some big trips with Wild Track Leisure Australia again for 2023. But what is coming up for 2023? Well, like I've mentioned before, I've been putting the fishing kayak on display on the Instagram. So if you're not following me on Instagram, and you do have Instagram, then jump over there and follow me there. And that's been a really interesting experience, because I'd never really been into the kayak fishing side of things before, and I wanted to just try something new, because I really do enjoy my fishing, and I've really found a love for it over the last 12 months, especially hanging around with Dusty. He's really kind of invigorated quite a passion in fishing for me, and it's been quite an interesting you know, quite an interesting friendship there as well, actually, you know, developing around the fishing side of things, and that's been really good. Then you know, so the kayak's going to be a big part of the channel coming up soon, so I'll be doing a full rundown of the Hobie links and everything like that, but I'll also be entering in quite a few fishing tournaments, and I'm, you know, I'm able to say that, yeah, I've been in 2 fishing tournaments already, one where I did absolutely shockingly, and one where I did really well, and I ended up coming second. So that was a good opportunity to test out the links, the kayak, and also give me, now I've had the kayak for about 3 months, and it gives me a really good idea of how the kayak is and everything. So I'm quite confident that I can do a review on that one as well. And so that one's going to be interesting as well. So look forward to that one. Then with the fishing kayak side of things, I also want to branch into doing some kayak camping, especially in the warmer months. So probably in the next few weeks, I'm going to plan on doing maybe something down Wellington Dam, Collie River way, or maybe even the Blackwood River, a bit further towards the river mouth, depending on how it goes. I might even come up here, I don't know. I'd have to pick a section that's kind of suitable for it. But what I want to do is try out actually camping from the kayak itself. So parking up, having everything loaded on the actual kayak itself, keeping it like super minimalist. I'll camp out of a hammock with a super light sleeping bag, so it has to be the warmer months, and do it that way. So that would be interesting to try out, and a different dimension of the channel experience and everything like that. And then we've got some big trips coming up in 2023 with Wild Track, like I mentioned. So there's potential for us to do a Canning stock route. That's going to be a massive trip. And then also potential for me to do some stuff all the way down south and all the way up north to like Esperance, so between Esperance and Exmouth. I'm very much looking forward to that. Very much looking forward to getting Dusty back out in the channel because he's also bought a kayak. So we're going to be doing just some fishing day ones as well, where we'll go out, we'll hit both the rivers, dams and coastline and do some just day out fishing stuff. I've managed to get a bit of a rapport going with Jimmy from Salty Fishers, and we're going to get out in the kayaks as well, which is pretty cool. And Damien from work, we're going to get out and have some fishos in the kayak as well. So that's going to be an interesting thing on the fishing side of things. So yeah, very much looking forward to that one as well. Now, in regards to last year and kind of lessons learned over the grand scheme of things, well, let's start with the full drive side of things and the rig, all right, and then we'll move into the camping and the trips side of things, and then we'll talk about the content side of things. So the full drive side of things, the rig, full driving, and all of that kind of stuff. So I've very much, because I've been going on these bigger trips and going to different locations, I'm starting to really work out what the limitations are of the Jimny, where it performs really well, where it doesn't, and I can then tailor my trips around that maybe a little bit better in the future, but more so the gear setup in the back. I've just filmed a full walk around video of the rig, and in that I do talk about what I'm planning on doing in the back, which is basically to overhaul the fridge slide and cargo system that's above the back seats there. Everything else is working really well. So a lot of the stuff's been provided by Kaon Australia. So thanks very much, Kaon. And these guys have just got an amazing product, and it's worked out really well in the back of the Jimny. But more so, it's the fridge slide and where I put the rest of my gear. So I'm still kind of banding around a couple of ideas, but at the moment it looks like I'll probably run down similar line to what Adrian from Rome Overlanding did when he had his Jimny. So we'll start looking at that in the future. There's only so much you can do in the back of these things. Look, I'm not going to get a different vehicle, but I may have to change the way that I set it up, including, for example, with the kayak. At the moment, I'm putting it on the roof. I might have to go down the line of putting it on a trailer. And that's more so the fact of, when I do put it on the roof, it's not that the car can't handle it. It's that all of the gear that's on the kayak has to be de-rigged and then put in the car, and I lose my entire back section. There's too much gear on the kayak itself for me to be able to fit the rest of the camping gear and stuff like that without just not being able to see out the back at all, and filling up footwells and silly stuff like that. So I'll probably look at a trailer kind of setup for the kayak, but more so it's going to be most likely something to do with potentially putting a rooftop tent on the kayak trailer as well. I'll see how that goes. There was one that I found on Marketplace recently that sold before I could get my hands on it, and that was perfect. So I'm going to see if I can find something similar to that, and also similar to what Jeff Preston's got with his awesome trailer setup that he's got for his little quad bike. So that's an option there, rather than obviously the quad bike, but for the kayak. So there's an option there, and I'll have a look at that. And if I do go down the line of putting the rooftop tent on, that way I put nothing on the roof. It will literally just be the rack and the awning at that stage. During the walk around video, I did discuss I might change out this awning for no other reason other than she is getting a tiny bit tired now after 4 years of use, and it is a touch heavy. So I might have a look at that. So on the rig side of things, I am, when I first got, it's an evolving process. So when I first got the car, I overloaded the roof. I didn't pack very well. I didn't really know what I was doing, and it ended up being a bit of a schmozzle. And the longer that I've been doing this, especially now with the content side of things, I've been refining this build continually as I go. And I'm almost there. I've just got to lighten the roof just a touch, and there's been a couple of mods that are going to help with that. But for the most part, it's going to be more about shifting some of that load that I normally put on the roof, maybe to a trailer. But it all depends. It all depends, because it will depend on the trip that I'm doing at the time. If I do another long overlanding trip, then obviously I can't do that, but we'll see. So there's that side of things. Yeah, certainly working out some of the limitations of the vehicle, which is interesting. But yeah, the car's almost where it's at. Now, the camping side of things and trip side of things. So the Gun Barrel Highway opened my eyes a lot to both the trip side of things, but also the content side of things. But we'll start with the trip side of things. Now, during the Gun Barrel Highway on my edit, so you could the Wild Track edit, which is a bit more, you know, hey, everything's awesome, and then my edit, which is a little bit more gritty behind the scenes, and my experience personally of, you know, the realities of long overland travel, and everything like that. So it's not just the exciting stuff, it's also the I'm getting tired part as well. And with that, I learnt that I need to configure the vehicle a little bit better for a longer trip like that, but I also need to mainly configure my expectation of what I'm going to be able to achieve. And that's mainly around the cooking side of things. I did mention that during the Gun Barrel Highway, was from the get-go, that was like a fast-paced, you know, set up, sleep, pack up, set up, go, go, go kind of situation. And I just didn't have an opportunity to really, because I was filming so much and presenting so much for the Wild Track side of things, as well as doing all the product demonstration stuff that we're doing and everything like that. And by the end, I just found that the elaborate cooking things just wasn't an option. You know, doing like what I'm going to do today, like, you know, once the sun starts to go down a little bit and it cools off a touch, after I've had a little swim, then I'll be doing a full smash burger, you know, and I'll be putting effort into that, where I'll be like, yeah, the smash burgers and the buns and the salads to go with and all that kind of stuff. And that takes time. And then, you know, because I'm a conchy kind of guy, I like to clean up, make sure that the rig's ready to go for the next day to cook breakfast and then pack up and leave, you know, and all that kind of stuff if I'm setting up, staying for the night and leaving. But because I only film for myself, you know, I can take the time to do that. It's when you're doing all of the other filming as well, and it's a long day of filming and everything like that, by the time you're finished, I mean, we were pretty much up before the sun, and we were filming until the sun went down. And to give you a bit of an idea, we shot over 2 terabyte worth of footage during that period. And that's like a huge amount, you know, the amount of footage that you then have to go through for editing and stuff like that, you know, and this will kind of touch into the content side of things, is a mammoth amount, you know. But the Wild Track and my side of things for the Gun Barrel series was received really well, and they're both ticking along really well, which is pretty awesome. And yeah, so that's done all right. So yeah, mainly on the cooking side of things. So for longer trips, I just have to dial it back a bit. You know, rely a little bit more on pre-prepared meals, whether that be in the form of something that I cook up and then heat up on the go, or do something like the wraps and things like that. You know, something that's, I can just put some cold cuts into a wrap and then mung on, and I'm happy. Or even just add water meals, which is what I kind of relied on towards the end of the Gun Barrel Highway there. So that's one side of things. The other side of things is the amount of gear that I take. Look, the elaborate, you know, camp oven cook meals aren't going to probably happen on those big long trips if I'm not into camp before, say, 2 o'clock, you know. Because you need to get your fire going, and then you need to get your coals going. And if the sun's already down at 7 o'clock, then your coals aren't ready if you're only starting the fire at 6:30 or 7, you know, and it takes a long time to get your coals ready, and that's where the camp ovens really work well. So coming into the winter season for this year, you know, that's going to be a big part of the winter stuff. But back into the summer stuff, once again, relatively easy meals, hopefully a catch and cook here and there, and stuff like that as well. In order to facilitate that, I am heavily thinking about getting myself one of those little travel ovens, little travel buddy, road chef kind of situations, and popping that up underneath the K-On roof shelf there. And I think that's probably going to be in particular for the longer road trips, that one's going to be a real handy piece of kit. So yeah, drop a comment below which one should I go. I'm probably going to work that one out, but yeah, I think I've already got a rough idea. I'm probably going to go the road chef one, or whatever the one that they've got over at Getaway Outdoors. That's probably what I'll end up going. Now, so yeah, so that's that side of things. Now into the content side of things. So that kind of ties into this a little bit. I need to plan my trips a little bit better in regards to the content side of things. And whilst this is a little bit of a unplanned trip that I'm doing right now, this is probably going to be the last unplanned content trip that I do. Everything that I do from now on, I'm going to storyboard out and work it out. I've gone on about 6 trips during 2022 where I filmed and I didn't edit them into a video because when I went back and looked at the footage, it was rubbish. And I don't know whether or not that's a case of I'm getting to the stage where I'm expecting a little bit too much of myself, which is probably part of it. But I want to improve my videography and I want to improve the experience for you guys, because I think that the more that people are watching, the more that I do that kind of stuff, then I need to improve the way that the footage and everything like that is done, and plan it out a little bit better. So yeah, lots of awesome stuff there. Last year, huge year. This year, even more coming. Quite a few lessons learned. Tool the car up a bit better for the trip that I'm going to be doing. Don't forget your fishing reels. Reorganize that back section a bit. Look at what I'm going to be doing on the trip and configuring my cooking to go with, and then also commit to doing a bit more for me rather than just doing everything for everyone else this year, I think. And when I say that, I mean for the content. Do a few more solo trips, and just me and Dusty and maybe Sam and stuff, guys that have been on the channel before. Certainly 100% Jetfish. Mike from Jetfish, get over there, follow him, check him out. He's really putting the pedal to the metal now, and he's going to be really doing some interesting content over the next 12 months, over the next 2 years really. But yeah, so check him out. It should be really cool. All right, team. I'll see you in a couple of hours' time, just as the sun's going down. I'm going to get that drone up again pretty soon. Get some more beautiful shots of this amazing bush out here. And yeah, I think we'll have a good afternoon. All right, team, so it's time to make some dinner, and tonight I'm going to make some burgers. Pretty much a straightforward recipe on this one. So I've just got some burger patties that I've picked up just at Woolworths. Now, normally I go to the butcher for my burgers, but they weren't open today because it's New Year's Day. But apparently, I met a young bloke down at the shop that I got chatting to, and he recommended these bad boys here. He was a butcher himself, and he said that these ones are the way to go. So if you can't get to the butcher, apparently the Amelia Park ones are the way to go. All right, so today I'm going to be keeping it pretty simple. So I'm going to fry up a little bit of onion in there. Obviously the burger patties. I've got a little bit of avocado, some cheese, a slice or two of bacon, a little bit of lettuce and tomato, and then I'm going to toast a broish bun, and that should be that. Nice and easy. Now, one of the things about WA this time of year is obviously we've got the fire ban, and that means that you can't use any solid fuel or ember, ash, spark emitting kind of fuels. So that means no campfires, which means no camp ovens. That means that anything I do in the summertime is going to be either a gas cook or it's going to be cold, a cold meal. So tonight, nice easy one on the gas. Now, one of the over at Wild Track, they gave me one of these awesome skillet type pans. These are great. So I've got most of their line in this now, and every time we go out and do something, I end up just nabbing one more. Thanks, Dave. But basically, yeah, these are not bad at all. So they all nest together really well. I've actually got the pan and the pot in there as well. But the good thing I like about them is the removable handle, because they just make, especially with the Jimny, you just don't have the space, and that's the thing that that I find. Like, I find it challenging in the way of, like, I see, like, I'll go, let's say, Milo from Jetfish, right? Now, admitted his 79 series with the Mitts alloy and everything like that, the canopy on the back means that, you know, he's essentially able to become a doomsday prepper with this thing, and it's just a zombie survival apocalypse vehicle. And he's got everything in there, from ice makers and espresso machines to the whole works and jacks. It's a, I can see you're kidding me. I can see a redfin from here just swimming around. That's bloody depressing, isn't it? Don't forget your reels, Tony. But yeah, so, you know, he can take absolutely everything, and I just can't, you know, so I've got to be deliberate about what I take. So that means when I go looking for things like cookware and stuff like that, I get stuff that deliberately, like, nests in together and stuff like that. So like that Cedar Summit stuff that I've got, once again, super lightweight, and I'm going to be using that more almost as like my kayak camping gear, I think, from now on. I'm going to kind of, like, you know, make up a dry bag. So I've got one of the dry bags from, I think it's called Wet Sacks, a young fella here in WA, and I'm going to kind of make up a dry bag camping kit that I'll put in there. In the meantime, however, I still have to think about what I'm doing with the Jimny, and when I think about what I'm taking, I very much look at those kind of collapsible and nesting like cookware sets and stuff like that, and that's the thing that I really do like about these ones. And they're pretty hardy, like, you know, they're good quality make, and they're also non-stick. So I'll be using that one there tonight. Alright, now, let's get stuck in. So, I'm going to start with the onion. I'm going to get that chopped up. I'm only going to use a little bit of it because I'm going to have, actually I might have scrambled eggs tomorrow. Yeah, you know what. So usually, like, I'll buy a brown onion, and I'll use some of it for the dinner, because I usually have onion in my bacon and egg rolls, but I think I might have scrambled eggs and baked beans tomorrow just to switch it up. You know, just something different. So alright, so I've got that ready. I'll just give it one chop. So I'm just gonna have like half onion ring kind of situations. Just pop that in the bin in a minute. Okay, so patties, bacon, and so I'll put the patties in first because they're going to take the longest to cook. Now I think I might just do the one patty. So that's the patty there. They're not bad. They're a good little size. Flies right in my nose. So yeah, they're a good size on the patty. So yeah, not bad at all. Now what I usually do if I'm only doing a little solo kind of overnighter, I'll just use the little gas bottles. I won't pull out the big one. But if I'm going to be doing something like multi-day or something like that, or I'm going to set up for a little while, then yeah, definitely. Hyperflame squeal. Alright. I'm going to get that one in there once that starts sizzling. I'll put that to one side. I'll put those back in the fridge now because I'll take them home. So yeah, take those ones home. Alright, let's get some bacon out. Hope everyone had a good Christmas. That's it's that kind of the silly season, that part of the year where it's, you know, everyone's getting crazy and there's so much going on. I'll just do the one. Haha, shortcut bacon, Ethan. Eat it. You love it. Ethan from Dads and Lads, he likes to, you know, e-dog. He likes to, you know, do this whole shortcut bacon thing. Find something better to do with your time, Ethan, you loser. Alright, so a little bit of onion in there, you beauty, and while that's all cooking, let's get the other stuff ready. Throw that in there. So I'll do the tomato. I only need 2 slices on that one. I'll keep the rest for later because I might have a sandwich in the morning. It's also one of the things that I've started to learn as well. I should put that on. Is don't waste your food because you may need it. You know, even in like the emergency situation, you don't want. Yeah. Alright, I'm just going to chuck a tiny bit of salt on that burger patty. Okay, so I've got my tomato there. I'm just going to grab a little bit of lettuce, so you can shred that up. Let's pop that to one side for a moment. I did let my fridge get a touch too cold, I think. There we go. Alright, so a couple of good leaves here. 2, 3, 3. Alright. Pop that away. Better than what you get at the bloody shop. And we're out here in the bush. That's absolutely brilliant. Yeah. Beautiful sunset going on at the moment, so the place is cooled right off. It should drop down to about 16 overnight, which isn't actually too cold, so I'm even half tempted to take the rain fly off of the stretcher tent and just sleep under the bug mesh. Well, I'm dropping lettuce everywhere. Yeah. That's outstanding. Gotta love a good burger, eh? Especially when it only takes 5 minutes to cook. Fill your belly up, really tasty, and you're on. Oh, that's absolutely brilliant. Oh, look at that. That's got a bit of everything in it, that does. That's absolutely fantastic. Well, I don't know about you, but I think it's high time that I have my solitary New Year's Day beverage. For sure. I'm not really a big drinker these days. Wasn't before either. But I don't really drink heaps these days. I certainly don't drink to get drunk anymore. And I probably partied a bit too hard when I was younger, to be honest. But I just get around a matzo or something like that. You know, just a little ginger beer, not too heavy, and just relax. Yeah, what a lovely evening this is going to be. I reckon I'm going to chill out and listen to some music softly. Listen to the sounds of the bush as I go to bed. And I reckon that is going to be where it's at. So look guys, I'll see you in the morning. I might get the drone up for a quick sunset, but we'll see how we go. But I'll see you in the morning. We'll cook up some scrambled eggs, and then on the way out, yeah, it should be a pretty easy run, and we'll try and get out of here before the heat. But this has just been a pretty cool, chilled out New Year's Day solo camping mission, back to where it all started. I can feel the energy. It's pretty bloody good, actually. You know what? Do you know what's pretty good? This thing. Oh, that's the ticket. I hope you're having a happy new year, and I hope your 2022 was a good one. Look, it's been tough for the last few years. You know, pretty much since the start of 2020, we've been in a bit of a, bit of a spot, with the whole state of affairs around the world, and, now we've got, probably some tough times ahead. But I'm hoping that 2023 at least levels out a little bit. I'm an optimist at heart, and I hope that you have a happy 2023, and I hope that I do as well. But I think it should be pretty good. I think it will be. Got to stay positive about these things, and with any luck, we will enjoy many camping trips together, and some gear reviews, some mod installs, and some fishing trips. Here's to that, eh? 2023. Let's get into it. All right, team, I'm going to finish my outstanding burger, and then I'm going to probably chill out and maybe listen to some music, and I'll see you guys in the morrow. Yeah, can't wait. 2023, guys, let's get into it. All right, enjoy. All right, well, good morning, everybody. It is about 6:30. I've been awake for a little while now, just laying in the stretcher tent. Performed quite well last night, the old stretcher tent. It was, yeah, very comfortable. And that's just with the little self-inflatable air mattress that's in there. But I'll tell you what, the bush was bloody loud last night. All the frog, you can hear them still going off this morning. They were going off all night. It sounded like bloody dirt bikes going off. So yeah, that was you know, kind of nice to go to sleep to, the sounds of the bush. But I certainly was woken up this morning by the sun just peeking up behind us now, and the birds starting to sing along in the morning. So that's been, yeah, really. I quite like the solo camping. It gives you an opportunity just to relax and just kind of earth yourself out a little bit. But one of the interesting parts about solo camping is that kind of strange feeling of isolation, you know, and almost vulnerability, I guess, especially whilst you're like asleep in your or laying down in your swag or your tent or whatever, and you hear everything, and you're like, what was that? What was that noise? You know, and you kind of like every now and then you kind of get up and you go, you know, is someone out there type thing. So yeah, no, I do quite enjoy it. It's a strange feeling, but it's good, you know. And the the feeling is quite unique, you know, that you don't get when you go group camping, because, you know, I think generally speaking, people are herd animals. You know, we're pack animals, and we feel better when we're, you know, the old strength in numbers kind of thing. But the feeling that you get when you're alone is very unique. All right, so what are we going to do this morning? Let's get some breakfast. I'll either try and do like I said last night. I'll either do an omelette, or I'll do like some scrambled eggs or something like that, and some baked beans maybe. And then I reckon we pack up and we get out of here before the heat of the day. All right, so let's get some breakfast going. I'm just going to do some scrambled eggs, and like I said before about planning my stuff a bit better for the content that I want to bring up. I think I'm going to plan my meals a little bit better in regards to exactly what I want to try and cook, opposed to just kind of throwing something together, which I tend to kind of do a little bit. So I'll do just a scramble today, and that's just going to be pretty straightforward. So first off, grab some eggs. Yeah, we've got these black cockatoos just flying around at the moment, up and down the river. Alright, meet those up, and then we're going to just add some bacon and stuff in it. So what I'll do is I'll slice up my other stuff first. One side. Now I'll use the rest of that tomato from yesterday. So 2 shortcut bacons. These guys like to get wound up about shortcut versus full rasher bacon. I don't understand it. I thought bacon in general was awesome. Doesn't matter which form it comes in. Alright, because it's like pineapple on pizza or what other thing people like to try and get themselves wound up about. Personally, not for me. Someone once said to me, you can measure the size of the man by the things he worries about. Probably not using the right pan for this one. I'm using the skillet purely because I just don't want to clean up the other one. So it might make it a little bit funny, but it should be right. Alright, so one thing I want to know from you guys is, what do you want me to try and cook other than the golden syrup dumplings, which I'm going to be doing in winter? But over the summer period, what do you want me to try and cook up? Alright, so leave a comment and give me an idea of what you want me to try and cook up over the next couple of summer episodes. I do quite like my cooking side of things. And I've got some cheese in the back there that I'm just going to add in the last little bit. There we go. Woo-wee. So you can see that. Just there we go. Just a bit of a combination of everything. In there. Just going to scramble those up. Alright. Oh, I'm putting it everywhere. There you have it. Gourmet scrambled eggs. So, a bit of everything in there. Oh, man. Tell you what. I'm not the best fisherman in the world, but I can whip up a feed. Alright team, there you have it. A very enjoyable little overnight run. Now it's time to get back on the trail and head back home. So look, final thoughts of this little solo overnighter slash channel update. Look, we've got some exciting stuff happening in 2023. 2022 was such a huge year for me that it was almost overwhelming, to be honest. And I think the main thing kind of to take away from it is I've learnt a lot. I've taken a lot of lessons on board in regards to the way that I'm going to plan the new content, and I think that the new content coming up in 2023 is going to be pretty good. It's going to be exciting, and it's also going to be an opportunity for me to really refine some of those videography skills and presenting skills, and you know, give you guys some really fun adventures, reviews, gear walkarounds, the whole shebang to watch. So yeah, it should be pretty fun. In the meantime, however, it is time to go home, so thank you very much for watching this episode, and I look forward to seeing you again all the way through 2023. Like I said, getting back to my normal schedule release of about once every 2 to 3 weeks. So please subscribe to the channel. It does actually help a hell of a lot if you subscribe, and like the video, leave a comment below. You know, tell me what you want to see. You know, give me some advice in regards to some of the things that may have worked for you, especially when it comes down to, you know, cooking stuff. You know, what works for you in summer and what works for you in winter. Engage with the team, and you know, that's the way that I see this, the Mighty Overlander team, and we can all work together to learn from each other and get out there and have some fun. All right team, enjoy, and I will see you on the next episode. Rock on.